everybody, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about the Wall Street Journal has again done a full page spread about Bentonville, about Northwest Arkansas, and they're calling it the capital of cool. Interesting stuff. So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you could like and share this video with a friend or family, that would make the world the difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas, obviously. So liking and also sharing, make sure that everyone can live, work, and play all in NWA. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Also, if you are coming down to Northwest Arkansas, definitely let me know. Let me put you on the calendar. We can meet up for coffee. We can talk about all the reasons why I chose Northwest Arkansas out of anywhere else. And if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. Literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? All the cool things you need to know about Northwest Arkansas. Boop, 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 boop. Package shipped right to your home. Right to your home. Let me know name, address, where am I shipping this package to? Let me know in the information below. I'll make sure they get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. All right, someone from the Wall Street Journal came back with like a travel blogger and wanted to do a full page spread on Bentonville about all the things that are happening here when it comes to the fun entertainment side. Now, they've already done a full spread on the real estate side because they've seen such a huge increase of real estate. I was part of that writing as well for obvious reasons. And so they came back and wanted to do more of the fun side of Bentonville itself. So let's kind of briefly talk, like this video will be kind of cut into two parts. One very short part, the second part is talking about the reasons why. The first part, we're gonna kind of run through some of the itinerary of what they did here in Bentonville, Arkansas while they were here. And so the first thing that they did, and just I'll briefly run through this, and this makes total sense. Crystal Bridges, obvious reasons, obviously a massive art museum located in Bentonville, Arkansas. Preacher's Son, one of my favorite restaurants in Bentonville. It's like this old school church. You wouldn't even know that it is a restaurant because it's an old church near the square. Some of the best food you'll have in the area, and honestly, some of the best experiences you'll have when it comes to restaurant-ine, if you want to call it that. Great food, but also there's, I don't know if they went to this, but there's like a bar underneath it, kind of secret bar called Undercroft. You have to know the special way to get there, so to speak. There's a door not so well known to get there. Anyways, so Undercroft, but they didn't go there. They went to Preacher's Son. They went to Lady Slipper, which is a kind of speakeasy style bar, we'll call it, over in downtown Bentonville. Then they went to Airship Coffee, classic Bentonville. And then Conifer Restaurant, which is great because the lead chef there was trained over at the French Laundry in LA. So it's like a 3 Michelin star restaurant. So Conifer, if you head to Conifer, that's the kind of experience you're gonna have there. And then they kind of ended up the tour. There's a couple things they bounced around there as well, but Markham and Fritz, which is I would consider like a top tier chocolate connoisseur in Bentonville. So they really ran the gamut of different restaurants and fun experiences in Bentonville. I don't know if they made it to the Momentary, I have to check on that one, but there's a lot of things that they did here in Bentonville, and that kind of summarizes like why this place is so cool. But now let's talk about those are some of the cool experiences. Let's talk about some of the reasons why. Now, they didn't necessarily like outline why they are the way they are, but we're going to kind of jump through my theories of why Bentonville is kind of like almost becoming, they've kind of taken the helm of mountain biking capital of the world. They've started taking the helm of mountain climbing, so to speak. We're going to talk about that in a different video, but they're really starting to become this kind of capital of cool. And let's talk about some of those reasons why right now. And the first reason why Bentonville's being almost dubbed as the capital of cool, and this isn't going to be the obvious laundry list of reasons why Northwest Arkansas has it's what it is, whether it's amazing trail system, whether it's amazing businesses, whether it's amazing college, whether it's amazing work, whether it's amazing outdoor. I can just give you a laundry list. But the first reason, and this isn't going to be something that's like hard evidence per se, but we're going to call a lot of these more like feelings or vibes. And the first one is going to be the willing to experiment. Now, that is one of the biggest reasons what drew me to Northwest Arkansas and the whole area versus other places in America, is because this place is heavy into experimentation. Meaning, whether it's businesses, whether it's we're gonna try these things, it doesn't work out, this is a heavy entrepreneurial area, and not just the typical San Fran, where like this is people that are coming together and we wanna build the best, like the best place to live in America, which I already think it is, but if we wanna make it even better, what are some things we can make things even better. And so you'll see experiments with art, you'll see experiments with trail systems, you'll see experiments with businesses, you'll see experiments with like nifty kind of interesting events that they pop up here and there. So they're always trying different things, and a lot of it necessarily isn't the natives who lived here and grew up here, but a lot of it is people that have moved out from outside, moved to here. So, reloads like me and other reloads that have moved to the area, they see things, they see opportunities, and maybe they're borrowing ideas from other places of America or even parts of the world. They come here and say, why can't I recreate that here? What's stopping me from doing this? They get people on board, they do it, and it's usually a wild success. And so you see that a lot of times here in Bentonville specifically, why it's the capital of cool, is not because of the laundry list of great, accolades they've acquired over the last decade or so, but it's the people that have moved here as well that are willing to experiment and just try different things and know that it's going to be pretty much a success. And that leads into number 2, why Bentonville has been considered the capital of cool. And this kind of dovetails off my first one, which is like, the experimentation side. But kind of leading off that is the fact that people are willing to step outside the box. And again, I want to lean more into the idea that when people move here, they have business ideas or they have things they want to try. And maybe that doesn't work out necessarily so well in other places, or maybe they don't have, there's too much red tape, for instance. But Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas specifically are like, I would say, leaning themselves up or kind of like position themselves as a place of experimentation, also stepping outside the box again. And so when you're coming here, for instance, I had a client come here who wants to do different style of businesses, and I don't want to give too much away because it's maybe kind of secret. But long story short, they want to do a business that would be more challenging in a different state, and whether it's business practices or different things of like getting the business up and going would be very challenging. Let's just leave it at that. Not because of anything like sketchy, but more of like it's hard to do business in that state. But they're moving their business here, and they're wanting to build up the business here because of all the things that are happening here. And Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas specifically is a great place, and it's not necessarily, they're stepping outside the box in so many different ways. And so you see that a lot of times of people moving their businesses or even doing events here, they definitely like look at the event and they think like, let's do it differently because we're in a different place. They allow so many different freedoms here that they would never allow. And so you see that a lot of times of different events and different things that are outside the normality of things. A good example, again, is that we don't necessarily are probably ever going to have a professional large football team. The University of Arkansas will always take that cake. But we are starting to have a lot of international people move to the area, of course, the last couple of years. So we have a lot more cricket stadiums and things being built for that specific purpose. Pickleball, all the rage in America. We can definitely leverage that because I just had clients come here a little while ago and said, we love pickleball. And so that is being built out as we speak. We are getting big into soccer. And so we have a new soccer stadium being built in Pinnacle Hills. We have an international sports bar being built out in downtown Bentonville that is going to only cater to certain, obviously, international sports. Things like that happen more often than you think here in Bentonville and also Northwest Arkansas. Well, before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and you're using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications? Way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below, name, bedrooms, square footage, bathrooms. Where do you want to move to Northwest Arkansas? All the things you want to know about your future home in Northwest Arkansas, enter all that information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? When is First Fridays? When is First Thursdays? What new businesses are moving here? What's going on for all fall time season? There's so much going on. So much going on. Enter your name below, enter your email below. I make sure to give that email every single Friday. But sadly, side note, you will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third reason why Bentonville is becoming the capital of cool in Northwest Arkansas in general, and this is more of a vibe of everything, but business just moves easier here. Usually when businesses want to move here, the answer is, or even start up here, the answer is always yes. There's a really interesting statistic that is coming out here shortly and it'll be made public, but in the month of June and July, every 12 hours, a new business filed for a business license in Bentonville proper. So it just goes to show that opening up a business and doing business here in general makes it so much easier. Now, the reason you're probably asking, like, why does that make a difference? Why is it the capital of cool? Let's say, for instance, business was really challenging in a different state. if someone had an idea and had trouble getting there, and it's enough to get funding as it is to start a business, whether it's from family or a bank or a startup or a small business growing up, whatever the case is, it's not, that's the hard part. The easy part should be licensing and doing things and working with the city and getting things worked out. But that seems to be the hard part over in different states. Here in Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville specifically, so easy to start a business. The answer will almost always be yes. How can we help you? And so when people have different businesses that kind of add to the community when it comes to the cool culture, it just makes it so much easier to do that because the answer is always yes. How can we help you? You want to make an international sports bar? Great. Where are you going to put it? Great. How can we help you? Let's make that happen. You want to open just a place for crepes? Great. Let's do that. Not a problem. You want to make a business for whatever the case is? Not a problem. We can make that happen for you. One business every 12 hours opened up in June and July, or at least applied for licenses in June and July. So again, Capital Cool, it is becoming well known in the world why Bentonville is becoming hyper successful. And the fourth reason why Bentonville is becoming the capital of cool, and this was not mentioned at all in the article because they wouldn't know this, but this is more of an overarching theme of Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas as a theme. They have seen the past, they've seen what cities have done, the mistakes that have been made, the paths that have not been blazed, the things of stifled growth, all the different things. And they've hired city planners, they've done their due diligence, they have things mapped out for the next decades. They have these roadmaps of what to expect, where to, all that, etc. They've hired other city planners that have worked with other bigger cities and basically hired them to say, how can we avoid that? And not saying because that Bentonville doesn't want to grow and doesn't want to grow to a decent size, but they've seen the caveats and the pitfalls of other past things, like we'll say the breadcrumbs of the history, and have said, we're not going to do those things. And so when you see that happen and you see the cities actually see the past and then go a different direction, that's a good sign. And so that's why I'm really big on the whole area, is because a lot of these cities hire city planners. The Northwest Arkansas Council specifically hires city planners to make sure they are going in the right direction and avoiding the problem, so to speak. And that is, again, seeing the culture of Bentonville specifically, again, is because you see these businesses and cool things pop up and experiments pop up that would never happen in a larger city because there's too much red tape, there's too many problems, there's too much this and too much that. Now, I'm really excited to see the future because as long as they can maintain that growth mentality, which every intention says yes, every planning says yes, that will always be the case. So I'm super excited for the future and see where it goes. But again, it just shows when cities look to the past and look to the future and know the direction they're going to go and have mapped it out, and they have cool on the radar, it just makes sense that they would end up in the position that they wanted to go in the original first place. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries, link below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. There's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you. So go ahead and download it and use it to get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you the $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar would go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, let's see you next one.